Welcome to Sports Talk with Steve Jones, the daily talk show with the voice of Penn State football and men's basketball. You never know what special guest may stop on by any given day. Now here's the man of the hour, Mr. Steve Jones.
All right, great to have you with us on the show today. I'd like to inform ESPN that Bobby Jenks was the closer on the 2005 White Sox team, but then again, they're experts on the sport of baseball. So, I mean, really, it's. But yeah,
Ozzie Guillen had the classic call for him. Anytime he'd call him, he'd just say the WOWY guy. Every time he brought him, that was classic. Yeah, I don't know how you forget Bobby Jenks. He's a major part of that team without question, and that's unfortunate that they.
Okay.
Some people don't remember him as the closer.
Okay, now we're in the StatCast era, of course, and there's just so many things. So O'Neal Cruz, who's one of the kings of the StatCast era, threw out J.P. Crawford at the plate with a throw from the outfield of 105 point something miles per hour. Second behind Aaron Hicks. Okay. So exactly what do all these StatCasts that O'Neal Cruz does? Well, and by the way, it's a remarkable thing. I mean, it's an interesting point. I mean, but let's not confuse him with Roberto Clemente and Dwight Evans. Okay, all right, and every time you turn around, he'll do something like, oh wow, okay. Then you look at what he's doing. He's hitting 203. Again. He leads the league in strikeouts. He's going to be 27. He's not a kid. There's so many ways he just still doesn't know how to play. And obviously, if you can do some of the things that he does, how hard he can hit a ball, how fast he can throw a ball. It shows that he has incredible natural gifts, but the ability to play baseball, like actually play the game at a high level, he doesn't have it. And guess what? He's been in the league for a long, long time. He's been in the league for a while now. Has he been in the league 5 years?
It's at least 4. Yeah, I think 5.
Come on.
Yeah.
After a while, I just sit there and I'll see these headlines dealing with him, and then I'll look at watch him run the bases. Nope, doesn't know how to run the bases.
Field, forget about it.
Right in the field. No, that ain't gonna happen either. At the plate, yeah. When he connects, it's exciting. Oh, but no. And this is where StatCast makes when somebody hits a ball in a Spikes game, it is an addendum that I'll throw in just as an interesting fact. Hey, that ball left, the home run went 404 feet and the ball went out of here at 106 miles an hour. Okay. Those are just addendums, right, to the play, right? There'll be a ground ball, you'll glance over, it'll be 108, okay. Now, that's an addendum to the play. The StatCast people want it to be the play. No, it's not the play. Right? Was it a base hit or not? No. He hit it hard. But, yeah. And I like the fact that that they give you this stuff, but it's it's just additional information. It's not primary. They want it to be primary information.
Yeah, which it's not primary. No. The fundamentals of baseball are always going to be the primary attribute and information of a player. When you can't run the bases, it's going to be noticed. When you can't field a simple fly ball, that's going to be noticed.
Right.
Look at, and good Lord help, look at when Chuck Knobloch had the trouble he had, getting the throw to first base. And that was very well documented.
Yeah. Yeah, very well documented. Steve Sachs.
Same, yeah.
Same thing.
Alvarez in Pittsburgh previously.
Yep. I mean, it's a problem. There's no question it's a problem. And I don't know. The StatCast sabermetrics I mean, I think they're nice addendums to it. Okay? I mean, that to me is like, it's still the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where's a guy positioned? Where's a guy hit the ball? Does he hit the ball the other way? I mean, the other day, I was doing a game, and they laid down a bunt to move the runners up, and somebody was like, what are they doing that for? It's like, because they're trying to get an inning going here. I mean, there's still some old ways of doing it that work.
Sure.
And and I'm looking at a baseball team right now in the Spikes that, to be honest with you, the first 3 weeks of the season, I didn't really think they were a very good team. And now the last 2.5 weeks, they have become a terrific team. I mean, terrific. They're in first place right now. They've won 9 of their last 11 games. And they are rolling people out. They beat Williamsport on the 4th of July, 19-4. A 3-run homer off a position player in the 9th inning made it 19-4. They won yesterday 18-0. They're not only winning. Right now, they're crushing people right now. Now, they've got 5 games left in the first half. If they can maintain that lead to Saturday, they'll host the championship game here in September because the first half ends on Saturday. But it's amazing to watch how they've come together. And they haven't changed a lot of personnel. I mean, there's a couple guys that have left. One guy in particular I thought was really good, got hurt. Lazakia, the kid from Northeastern, good-looking player. Right. Keeping him would have helped, but he got hurt. He can't play right now. Okay. And, I mean, pitchers haven't changed that much. Changed out a couple. They just won a couple games, got confidence. And they're playing with great confidence right now. What a difference that makes.
But I think managerial decisions have been good, too. You go back to Thursday night against Williamsport. They had that 2-1 lead, get into that jam. I thought did a great job working the bullpen to stay ahead.
You brought in Ethan Storm to get an out, which is what he's been doing lately.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's interesting because he's been doing that lately. Yesterday, they gave him an inning instead of just getting an out. That's the first time in the last 3 or 4 outings where he wasn't asked just to get 1 or 2 outs because he leads the team in holds with 5. But this is, it's fun to watch. And they've got 5 games this week. I know the Arts Festival is this week. I mean, your crowd's coming in.
Yeah. I cannot tell you the last time I've been to Arts Fest. It has been years. It's many years.
Because you get mobbed when you go downtown.
That's right.
I understand that.
That's right. It has been many years.
You get mobbed when you go downtown. I understand that. Yeah. Sure. That's you. Mobbed downtown. So, that's where they are. Media days will finally start up next week. The SEC goes first in Atlanta, and in suburban Atlanta, they're going to have the All-Star game. There's a lot going on in Atlanta next week. I think Beyonce has a concert there next week, too. But, yeah, the SEC media days are next week. And it's so then it's the Big Ten in Las Vegas. And there is nothing like the joy of being in Las Vegas in July and walking outside. The 112 degrees.
Well, at least there's no humidity in Vegas.
It's a dry heat.
You got that going for you.
Yeah. I mean, this is where we are. We're finally to the point of media days coming up. That's next week. Okay. Now basketball's going through its workouts right now. And that'll end in the about 10 days into August. They even practiced on the 4th of July in the morning. And, yeah, I was there. What the heck? Before I had to go to Williamsport to do the game, I went practice. All these camps and academies are over with. And so we're in that last area, and then media days. Trying to think. Is it Key Wheatley, Drew Aller, and Nick Dawkins are the 3 representing Penn State, going with James Franklin in Las Vegas. Look, having in Las Vegas, I understand that. But I would go to Las Vegas if the championship game were in Las Vegas. It's not in, I know you're trying to incorporate the West Coast part of it.
Right.
And Las Vegas is obviously a cool place to go to. I mean, I understand you have a lifetime pass to the Sphere.
I wish. Yeah. Some of the music artists that have played there, my goodness, I wish.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Yeah.
Just the Eagles and U2 in the past year and a half.
Okay. Yeah.
And Katy Perry, too, but we don't worry about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be the night I take off.
Yeah.
It felt like Chicago was probably I don't want to say the term hot spot. It felt like Chicago was the ideal place for media day for many years, and I still think it should be. That's where it just feels right. It feels like the Big Ten just fits in Chicago pretty well, and it always felt right. I think Chicago or Indiana are your 2 spots where it just feels like the Big Ten fits perfect for a media day or for a major event.
Well, that's where the media happens to be.
Yeah, that's exactly
in the Big Ten. It's. I mean, for example, the Big Ten announcers got together and did a golf outing like we do every year, and this year it was suburban Chicago, and Dave Ennett of Northwestern hosted it, and he and Ted Albrecht were tremendous hosts. I mean, like not good, but tremendous. Well, Mike Grimm drove down from Minnesota. Gary Dolphin drove over with Steve Rowe from Iowa. right? Rob Blackman. It was Indianapolis 500 week, but he drove up, because he works the Indy 500 in the pits on radio, and he drove up from Purdue. John Fisher drove up from Indiana. Brian Bush drove over from Michigan. Like everybody, like people drove. Las Vegas, nobody's driving.
No, you're right.
Maybe Josh Lewin may drive over from UCLA.
Yeah, right.
I'm not sure Pete Arbogast is going to go. But that's it. And I realize you're trying to get it to the West Coast because of the West Coast teams. I understand that completely. But if they were hosting the championship game, which eventually they will, and eventually they'll host the Big Ten tournament, which is 2028. Okay. It goes Chicago this season, back to Indianapolis, and then Las Vegas. I would understand that. You're trying to promote it in the city.
Sure.
But, okay. I mean, look, it's a media day. What does it matter? Except you're trying to get maximum exposure. Are you getting maximum exposure by getting Big Ten reporters to go to Las Vegas? And who's paying for it in today's media? I mean, who's paying for it? I mean, every time I turn around, there's somebody else released.
Or they're
media.
Yeah.
I don't see people getting hired, do you?
No. And I see a lot of people cutting back. I think I can name a lot of writers who don't do the road games anymore. It's just budget's not there.
Yeah, but Penn State's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, for example, the beat writers that go on the
Absolutely.
road. But for example, I don't think Frank Bodani travels anymore.
I don't believe so.
Right? And, of course, Audrey Snyder's not with the Athletic any longer, which is a shame.
Absolutely, I agree.
And depending on where the road game is, it's kind of a mixed bag as to I mean, I don't know how many seats they put. How many seats are in the press box? You're in the press box. I'm not.
I couldn't tell you now what it's going to be like.
No, but I'm saying, though, has the press box been filled is my question.
For the big games, it is. For the other games, no. The other games, I think there's an overflow typically that is usually open. But it's been filled in terms of for the Big Ten games, yes. The normal beat writers have been there every week. Still.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They're still there every week. But no, in terms of is it full with scouts and everything else, no, not unless it's a big game usually. Typically, it's pretty full, but usually the overflow has open spots.
Yeah, so in other words, I don't know what the new press box is going to look like. They were still building it when we were over there, and nor will I probably know what it looks like until maybe in off season.
Yeah.
Because I'll never get over there. I mean, during the season, I don't go over there. And we're staying on the west side.
Yeah.
So the question is, to me is, I wonder how big they built it, how many seats they put into it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's something that, I wonder how many people are showing up at Media Day. Now, Atlanta, they'll probably have a big crowd there in Atlanta.
Yeah, you're right in.
Because, between Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee, even Vanderbilt, even the Mississippi schools.
Yeah,
right? I mean, it's a drive for them. That's all it is. South Carolina, it's a drive. It's easy.
Again, that's why Chicago and Indianapolis fit perfect for the Big Ten.
Right, exactly. So, I think that, but hey, that's what they picked. Then the ACC Media Days, I don't even know where they are. Are they in Charlotte?
I was figuring North Carolina, but I don't know for sure.
So
my best guess would have been the same as yours.
yeah, and then the Big 12 normally is like Dallas, but I don't know if they're moving it around.
Yeah, the ACC is Charlotte.
Okay. Okay, and Big 12 Dallas maybe. Maybe they'll make it
Close enough. Yeah, Frisco, Texas. Yep.
Oh, Frisco. Yeah,
Yep.
that's fine. That's the same. Essentially, it's the same
Yep.
place. I wonder if they're going to be at the Star.
They are.
Ah,
Yep,
they're going to
they
be
are.
at the Star. There we go.
Yep. Yeah, again, it's all, like you predict every one of them. If you didn't know the Big Ten Media Day was in Vegas, you wouldn't guess
Yeah.
Vegas. That's why.
Yeah.
It just. I agree with you. It doesn't entirely make sense this year to be in Vegas. It just doesn't. I get why they're doing it.
I
really
understand
do.
what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
I
certainly.
understand they're trying to get it close to the West Coast schools because they're trying to make sure people are interested in what is going on. I've got that. Okay?
Yeah.
But the bottom line is it easy to get to?
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
And it's even tougher now because Vegas is obviously a lot different now than it was 20 years ago. It's a lot different.
Yeah.
You'd have big boxing fights there, and you had excessive gambling there. That's about it. And you obviously have entertainment completely. There's no doubt about that. But in terms of sports,
now it's completely changed.
Exactly. Sports, you were trying to get whatever you could get there. Now you literally have professional sports teams fighting to get there.
You have hockey and football.
Yeah.
You're about to get baseball.
You're about to get baseball.
At some point.
You're probably going to get basketball.
You're probably going to get an NBA team.
Yeah. I remember when they had the NBA All-Star game in Vegas, over a decade ago.
Yeah.
It was the biggest thing known to man at the time because they just didn't have pro sports in Vegas. Now they do, and now it's much bigger.
Now college basketball tournaments, which have not been there for years. The NCAA is doing regionals
NCAA's
there.
doing regionals there, yep. Super Bowls were there.
Yep, they've had the Super Bowl. Because the A's are going there, they'll never get the World Series. Just kidding.
The folks of Oakland. I'll tell you what, I like the ballpark they're playing in right now. Obviously, they're not going to do it long term, but it's not a big park. But hey, it fits the A's. It really does. Hey, the Chicago White Sox played in a minor league ballpark. It fit them too.
Yeah.
No, they did beat up on the Rockies. Another team that
Okay.
Another team that could use a minor league ballpark.
Okay. All right. First of all, Tampa Bay's going back to St. Pete.
Yeah.
But I don't know what they're going to do.
I have no idea. Yeah, I have no idea. It's
I don't know.
the ironic part of all. Watched a movie, one of the great movies of all time, Major League, over the weekend, and
Okay. Just a bit outside.
this guy here is dead. Cross him off then.
Then cross him off the list.
The ironic part of that meeting where she meets with the GM, where she says she wants to relocate the team to Miami.
Charlie
Donovan and Rachel Phelps. Yep, and where literally. The movie was relocating the team to Miami. And in my mind, I'm thinking, man, they don't draw in Cleveland. They certainly aren't drawing in Miami.
They're drawing in Miami. She thinks they are. But you are incorrect. They are not going to draw in Miami. And I'll say this. I had not seen the ballpark until I went down there for the Orange Bowl. Like, holy mackerel. Very, very.
Yeah.
I was taken aback by how big the ballpark was in terms of like the size of the building. That part is. And that's where the old Orange Bowl used to be.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the site of the old Orange Bowl. Oh well, it's. I don't know what Tampa's going to do.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, I know they're. I mean, Milton, of course, ripped the roof off the place, and Milton changed because of the money allocation. Justifiably went to rebuilding. So the money that they were talking about building a new ballpark, which is going to be right next to the Trop, and it was. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen there. I mean, I think they would love. I mean, first of all, their primary places that they want to expand to. The two primary ones appear to be Nashville and Salt Lake City. I mean, Salt Lake City's kind of come out of nowhere with this thing, to their credit. I mean, Portland wants a team. Charlotte's an interesting spot because they would have to build a new ballpark. Their minor league ballpark.
Yeah, the park's not big enough.
Well, yeah, but they can't expand it because of the land. They can't expand the ballpark.
They definitely have popularity with the Knights too in Charlotte. So I think that's like a good spot.
I think they're a White Sox affiliate.
They are.
They?
Yep.
How could they be popular? Right, and then of course the
big league team doesn't draw.
And of course, a lot of people want to go to Montreal.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I think a lot of the generation of today doesn't remember. Well, obviously you weren't around for the Montreal Expos, and it was spectacular to play at Olympic Stadium. The field was terrible, but it was special to play there.
They love the mascot Youppi.
Youppi, yep. Except for Tom Lasorda, got him tossed.
Well, he's just Lasorda is one of the funniest guys I ever met.
He was.
He was at Rose Bowl practice in 2008. All right, and he held court. And I was there. Maybe spent 15, 20 minutes talking to him a little bit. But then it's time to go for me to watch practice, take notes on what I needed to do. And I remember Joe came over to me and he said, "Steve, you met Tommy, right?" I said, "Oh, yeah, I did." He says, "Steve, you could talk for hours."
Well, he
and he talked the whole practice. And the managers were completely enamored with him.
And my grandmother was a huge Dodgers fan, and obviously she had 5 kids, my dad being one. He was a Mets fan. I don't know what happened there. But one of my uncles was a Dodgers fan as well. And he actually went down, started talking to Tommy Lasorda prior to the game, and actually sat in conversation. Here comes security over to remove him, and Lasorda chased the security away. I said, "Hey, we're having an important conversation here. Go away." I thought, oh, man.
God.
Yeah, he easily could talk for hours.
Oh. But he's funny.
He was.
Oh, no. His stories were
I'll never forget when Vlad almost killed him in the All-Star game, losing the bat.
Yeah.
Down the third baseline.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was a third.
Vlad Senior for those listening to the younger generation.
Right. I mean, because for a long time he was the third base coach of the Dodgers before he took over for Walter Alston. And, of course, in the minors with Albuquerque, he coached third base. So, I mean, he's, but so, yeah, great baseball stories. The Phillies are playing better. I saw Schwarber.
Yeah.
You're telling me the Zach Wheeler's only in his third All-Star game?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Threw a one-hitter yesterday.
I mean, really? Paul Skeens, by the way, deserves to be there.
Absolutely. Got there.
He's in his second in 2 years. I'm like, Zach Wheeler's only been in 3?
That is unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah. They did their best to ruin his gym yesterday too. They excel at doing that occasionally. Where
the Pirates didn't. By the way, the Pirates didn't score a run this week.
No,
you know that against Seattle.
Didn't score a run.
Not score a run.
No, lost 1-0 yesterday. Skeens threw another
great game and got nothing.
Got nothing.
All right. Yeah. So I don't know. They're an interesting team. They got hot for a period of time. they're a hard team to figure out.
They are.
I don't know.
Yeah, baseball's been interesting this year. Obviously,
I mean, I watched some of the Cubs last night. They blew out the Cardinals. Cubs are playing
completely
great.
blew 'em out. They're playing incredible. Yeah.
I mean, they're playing great.
Terrible call at first base, by the way. They called, Hap out going out of the baseline. No way. Avoided the tag. Yeah. But fortunately, it didn't affect the game whatsoever. But, yeah, that's Cubs are playing well. Dodgers just got swept. Yankees almost got swept again. There's just baseball seems open as you get set to enter the second half.
The Yankees are over-publicized, and to be frank with you, good, not great.
Right. Yeah, got some holes.
And Clark Schmidt, I believe, is out for the year.
He's going to be Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, so he's out for the year now. That hurts. I watched a little bit of the summer league, and I noticed, it's amazing the number of guys on the summer league team that don't play.
Right.
I mean, the Grizzlies opened up. Ace didn't play, and he was one of 8 guys that didn't play.
He was sluggish when he played the game. Did play the game he played in.
I know they're rotating guys. I understand that. I mean, they're just trying to get guys in there. But look, you want to get yourself invited to camp, you can't be sluggish. Right? I have not seen what Zach Hicks has done with and Andrew Funk was a DNP for the Sixers.
It was. Yeah, Edgecombe had a great game with the Sixers, the double-double.
Yeah, they're all excited about him in Philadelphia I have no reason why.
No, I think he's a guy that can get up the floor. I think you're going to want to push it with Maxey and Edgecombe, but here's the problem with that. What are you doing with the big guy in the middle that can't stay healthy? That's where the problem lies.
He doesn't get down the floor.
No, that's what I mean. He's not getting down the floor at all if you're going to push it. I agree with you pushing it. That's fine. Yeah. You have 2 guys that you're paying quite a bit of money to that aren't getting up the floor in that time.
Yeah.
Primarily one being your big man. Paul George isn't either at this point in his career.
No. Oh, boy.
Yeah, so they're still a mess.
Yeah. Well, you got to give them credit. They are the process, which is in what, year 28?
Nah, it's around there. Yeah.
What are we doing? We have a plan. Okay, so far your plan has netted 1 guy. 1.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
So, oh, well. Crazy. Well, right now baseball is in the spot where it owns everything at the moment. There's always that 5-week period where baseball is by itself. Then the second football training camp starts.
Oh, yeah.
They're done for.
Yeah, agreed.
Right? And it's
and if it's a big enough story carrying the NFL or another sport, it's done. But so far we've not had that this summer, really.
Right now, will the media days in the SEC and the Big Ten? I mean, not so much in the ACC or the Big 12. I mean,
no.
Right? I think when Deion Sanders speaks, you'll have interest. When Bill Belichick speaks,
sure.
Okay. Yeah. There'll be interest, but that's about it. The Big Ten and the SEC have everything going for them, and a lot of people that you're interested in, a lot of contenders out there. But baseball has everything to itself right now, and the product is, I think the product's good. A lot of talented players out there. Now, by the way, it's interesting. Ellie De La Cruz, by the way, made the All-Star game. And, he's another guy that's like a StatCast kind of guy, but he's a better player than O'Neal Cruz.
Yeah, oh, no doubt. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he's a better player. And but he made the All-Star game. I mean, certain guys have made moves this year, like Max Fried ended up going to the Yankees. He's been terrific. I'll give you one baffling All-Star selection. Alex Bregman of the Red Sox. Right? Not when Bregman played, he was terrific. When Bregman was playing, he was terrific for the Red Sox. But he hasn't played in weeks.
No.
Why should he be in the All-Star game?
Agreed.
It's crazy. It's insane. I don't understand why he got picked.
Right.
Because he was not He was not picked as a starter. He was selected as a reserve. Well, he can't. Well, number one, he can't play in the game. He's not off the IL yet. But I was baffled that he got picked. His performance when he played, he was terrific. But he also hasn't played in weeks.
Yeah, it's true.
And the Pirates got one guy, Skeens.
Skeens, yeah.
That's it. Done. Yeah. And Skeens would have been picked no matter what.
I agree. Yeah.
No matter
Philly's
what.
obviously getting 2. Could have been 3. I think he could have probably put Turner in the team.
You
But,
got Schwarber and Wheeler.
Schwarber and Wheeler, yeah.
And Schwarber's the starting DH.
Yep.
Obviously. He's a backup DH. The starting DH is Shohei Ohtani.
Ohtani, yep. Yeah.
I don't know. But I was looking at the All-Star selections. I just figured, okay, let's just see. And I'm looking at it going, okay, Bregman made no sense because he's hurt.
He's hurt, exactly.
In other words, he didn't get hurt 2 weeks ago. He's been out for weeks.
It's also where, especially this happens in the NBA, it is the fans' game, I get it. But on the flip side, it's also you don't vote guys in that haven't played all year.
Look, okay.
That's the other part of it.
Okay. When it comes to the fan vote, when they first did it, which was the second time through, because they got rid of the fan vote because one year, 7 Cincinnati Reds were voted in as starters in the All-Star game?
Yeah.
Something like that. That was in the late 50s, early 60s. So then they brought it back. And when they first started it was like, okay, all right. But then you've got every team in the league doing campaigns. Don't forget to vote for your favorite Pirates. So like, okay, you're all sitting there with the ballot in the stands going, hey, great, Brian Reynolds.
Yeah. Not even playing the next 5 weeks, but we're going to vote him in.
O'Neal Cruz, It's like, get Brian Hayes, boom. Like going, no, that's not.
And then they bribe it with giveaways. Oh, 2 tickets to next week's game if it's double vote day. Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Double vote day.
Literally. Yeah,
when they start doing that, it's like that's becomes ridiculous.
Yeah, ruins it.
Right? Just vote.
Yeah,
just vote.
Mm-hmm.
And if you wanted to vote for all the Pirates, that's fine. That's up to you. But don't have the team encourage it.
No, don't.
The team shouldn't be encouraging it. Right now, it's at the point where you got to take it away.
Yeah,
I mean the NBA votes the same way.
Yeah, NBA is exponentially worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple guys I think probably should have made the team. There's no question. I think Turner's one. Rafael Devers is another one.
Devers has been very much up and down. He has not he has not actually performed well with the Giants.
Crawford. I thought Crawford from the Mariners is a great year.
Is an excellent.
Yeah.
Would be an See, I was surprised Rodriguez got picked.
Yeah, so was I.
From the Mariners.
Yep.
I mean, in the field, he's been very good, but at the plate, he's been very much up and down.
Yep.
Like, I don't know. But That's just me. Yeah. Yeah. So there's some different ones on there where you just kind of ask yourself, okay, really? That's your quite really? Oh, boy. Well, it's the All-Star game. It doesn't matter.
No, obviously, I think it's in Philadelphia next year, I believe.
Oh, you should go. This would be great. It'd be like a Metallica concert.
Oh, yeah. I think it is. I believe it's in Philly next year.
Oh, yeah, no, because it's 2026. It's 250th birthday of America. Of course they'll put it in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I believe the 76 All-Star game was in Philadelphia.
It was. Yep, that was the one
50
where
years ago.
Yep, Mike Piazza MVP, Ozzie Smith's last All-Star game. Yep.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I would guess. I would think Philadelphia's getting a lot of things next year.
Yeah, I think there's a chance. I don't think they're going to get an NBA All-Star game for a long time because I know they were extremely mad with the 2002 All-Star game in Philadelphia. I thought they were disappointed by how the league handled it. I know they were frustrated in a lot of ways. I know they won a Super Bowl. Obviously, you're not getting that there unless you build a dome. But
now the closest Super Bowl they were going to get to Philadelphia is going to be that new,
or the
new dome they're building at D.C. D.C.'s closer to Philly than New York. It's close. It's like halfway, right?
I think it's probably very close. Yeah, because if you Philly to New York minus traffic.
Because I don't think MetLife's getting a Super Bowl again.
No, I don't think they're lucky when they had it there last time. Obviously, the weather helped itself in a big way.
Yeah, game day it did, but not on media day.
No, it's not.
Because I went. That's the one Super Bowl media day I covered, and it was 9 degrees, and it was at the Prudential Center where the Devils play. And they made us wait outside. And first of all, they told us the wrong gate. We're all waiting at this gate, and they're like, oh, no, that's actually not the right gate. I'm like, it's not the right gate. You're the one that told us to go here. Like, okay, great. So then we had to swing around. I mean, once we got in, it was fine. I had no problem with that. But, like, we had to wait outside for almost an hour, and it was 9 degrees out. I mean, golly, it was cold. Somebody tells me it was at SoFi Stadium. That was not the issue, right? Okay? That was not the issue at all.
There's a lot of cities, when they host it for the first time, too, do not know how to react. I go back to Dallas when they had the Steelers and Packers.
It snowed.
It snowed.
Snow and ice.
And you had the seating, which you didn't have the stadium fully constructed yet, and you literally had fans having to be placed who knows where. And then the NFL they got it right in the end because fans had the ultimate voice, but they did a terrible job with that. Obviously, first of all, the fans that paid to go to the Super Bowl all week were trying to find a place to sit. But secondly, they're like, we'll refund your ticket. Like, no. Not going to happen. No, it ended up being pick a Super Bowl, we'll pay your entire way, which they got it right in the end. But good Lord, yeah, that was a terrible job.
Yeah,
that Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, they struggled. In fact, there was ice came off the building, and
yeah.
If you're a Packers fan, it worked out great.
Oh, you're a Packers fan. I think you were very happy. Yeah, no question about it. But yeah, I knew a lot of fans that had to be literally reassigned seating, and almost took them till the second quarter to find a seat. It was not the NFL's finest hour.
No. Now, see, I'm a major proponent that the college football playoff championship game should be in the Rose Bowl.
Biggest one that I've seen in the last 25 to 30 years was in the Rose Bowl.
I'm a major proponent. It should be there every year.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
That's me. That setting, which is made for it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just old. This year it's Miami. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And what's weird about that is, I don't think it's starting. It may start this year. It starts this year. ESPN. I am baffled by this. I can see them selling or subletting games to TNT in the opening round.
Right.
That's a lot to do.
Yeah.
All right. But they're gonna let TNT do a semifinal every year. Like, isn't that like the money maker of all money
Absolutely.
makers? 2 games with stakes?
Yeah.
Like that?
And I thought the way they did it last year was perfect. You had 2 great games too, which helped even more. Yeah,
I don't get that.
I don't either. No, I don't either. Because you have the resources. You don't put it on ESPN, you put it on ABC.
Right.
TNT's not going to be able to do that.
I was completely baffled by that.
Yeah.
I'd love to know the reasoning behind that.
No, because TNT's going to go to another cable station. They're not going to be able to go to a national. Well, it's national, but I mean, they're not going to go to what was called back in the day the over-the-air channels.
Well, it's amazing when they go to the over-the-air channels how the ratings are higher.
Ratings are higher, sure. Absolutely.
I think they've been putting Monday Night Football on ABC.
Yeah, absolutely.
And by the way, when they do get the Super Bowl, which is, I think it's the year after this.
7, is it? Yeah, so it is the year after this, 27 or 28, yep.
It's going to be on ABC. It's not going to just be on ESPN.
Yep.
And they've been putting more Monday Night Football on ABC.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't.
Yep.
You know, I realize that part of it is you're trying to make sure your cable subscriptions are high and so forth if you can. Now, cable subscriptions have fallen back.
Big time, yeah. Absolutely.
You know, there is more streaming now than ever before.
Sure.
At some point, I think there will be a streaming Super Bowl.
Unfortunately, I agree with you. I think there's a chance that will happen.
Because I think that that sports organizations have a tendency to outthink themselves.
I think at the very least, second and third round conference championship games will be streamed at some point. We're not talking next year. I think we're a little bit away yet, but it's not far away.
At some point, I wonder if they'll stream a college football playoff opening round game.
I think there's a chance. Yeah, I think there's a good chance. Especially if ESPN is able to expand further to what they're doing now.
What are they doing?
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah,
I don't understand what they're doing. They keep running all these promotions.
No, yeah, they had an idea where they were going to come together with Fox and have a big streaming, and it fell through. Yeah, ESPN Plus isn't big enough ESPN Plus isn't Peacock. Obviously, NBC's got Peacock big enough to.
Peacock loses money left and right.
Big time. But
I mean, Peacock's the WNBA. Hey,
you're not wrong.
Everybody thinks, hey, they're making all this money. No, they're losing their shirts.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
It's true.
You think Paramount Plus losing your shirts?
Sure. But when you think of streaming services, you're thinking of those. You're thinking of Peacock, Paramount Plus, Netflix, obviously. Prime has everything to go along with the perks. But those are the ones you think of. ESPN Plus is not in the thought. That's way down there. So you're really not going to, unless ABC and ESPN can come together, Fox, same thing, and get a phenomenal streaming service that is going to come together and just change the game, so to speak. I don't know how you can put a college football playoff on streaming only. I think we do see a point that it happens, but I don't know how exactly you do it.
I still maintain streaming is the perfect supplement.
Complement, yeah.
Where you're sitting there and, I stream things. Oh, I can get the game.
You watch TV.
I have cable or TV. I can get the game. The idea to me is to maximize audience. Yeah. Streaming does not maximize audience.
No.
The two together do.
No, and the other problem with what the NFL has done, and look, it's worked, of course, because people are going to pay it. They've hurt the fans in so many ways. Obviously, you have the Sunday ticket on YouTube. To me, Sunday ticket should get you everything. You're paying that kind of money. It should get you everything. But no, then you have to have a Netflix subscription. You have to have a Peacock subscription. Then you have to have an Amazon Prime subscription. You hurt the fan in so many ways. At some point, the fan one day will say enough's enough. That day may not be tomorrow or even 10 years from now, but at some point, the fan will do that.
Yeah. Look, the fan, too many organizations treat the fan as a means to an end. Too often, organizations dictate to the fan when in reality the fan should be dictating to the organization.
Absolutely agree.
Okay? And that is that's one of the problems, is that when the NFL decided to do what's the best way of phrasing it? Everybody always uses the word woke. Okay.
Yeah.
And their audience fell off 7 to 10%. Oh, and this was during the time of the Let's Kneel for the National Anthem, things like that. Okay. And then they reacted. Wait a minute, what's going on here? We lost 7 to 10% of our audience. What are we doing here? And so I guess first they reeled it in. Like, guys, can't. This is bad for the league, right? And some of the players fought it, and other players were like, okay, we get it. Can't be losing audience over this. But that's like one of the few times I remember the NFL reacting the way they did.
Sure.
Right? And that's the only way ever to get them to react to something is if the audience goes down.
Sure.
I mean, during the pandemic, here's another one. During the pandemic, no fans in the stands. Audience went down 7%. Right? So then they started encouraging me, maybe we can get some people into the stands.
Yeah.
Like some. Remember, was it Green Bay was playing Tampa Bay in the NFC Championship game?
Yep.
Well, how many fans did they have there? 30,000?
It was probably, Yep.
Right? They're like, only X amount were allowed in. But it was pretty loud.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Now, for the Super Bowl in Tampa that year.
Yeah, I can't remember how they did it.
I think they
Definitely was not 100% capacity.
It was close, though.
Yeah, I can't entirely remember.
Yeah. But suddenly they got through the mid-season. They're like, we got a problem here. So they started to encourage people. Is it possible to get some people into the seats? And I remember, what was it? In Green Bay, they were taking... I'm trying to think they were doing. They were banging on the seats. It made like tons of noise. Right? Now, it didn't help the home team at all. But leagues don't react.
Right.
Unless they look around and go, uh-oh.
Yeah, we're in trouble. Yeah.
Right. But they make so many decisions that don't take the fans into account.
Right.
I mean, leagues do that. A lot of people do that. Like these are your consumers.
Agreed.
Now, I'm not saying that you put up a smiley face and tell them it's $1.84 now. But you're like, okay.
That day will never happen in the NFL.
It's, but yeah. It used to be $2.12. Now it's $1.84. This big smiley face. Yay. I mean, the NFL doesn't do that. Crazy. Well, you're here all week. Depressing. There's no bobblehead giveaway this week, by the way.
No,
so.
Next week. Into next week. Well, no, week after.
The week after.
Yep.
Yeah. You'll be there for it.
I will be, and he'll be there.
Yeah,
Paul Posledny will be there. Yeah,
which is great. Now, Paul's one of the great guys.
Absolutely.
Ever. I mean, one of the great guys.
Is this Penn State linebacker, Paul Posledny, for the College Football Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Who called him Notre Dame linebacker Paul Posledny?
Who did that?
When he was introduced to the Hall of Fame.
Oh.
Yeah. Notre Dame linebacker. He played Notre Dame.
No, I don't think so. Good Lord. You have one job.
Literally. And if you're a fan of college football, for crying out loud, like the guys in the Hall of Fame are in the Hall of Fame for a reason. We're not talking about, to all due respect to the guy that's third in the depth chart. If you screw up where he went to school,
okay,
maybe.
One job.
Hall of Famer. Big difference.
You got one job.
Yeah. If you forget Franco Harris played for the Seahawks, please remember that he played for the Steelers.